Nothing got weird, girl. I got a free ride home on a boat. Oh, see, there's lube all over this microphone.
Yes.
You ready to throw some D's? Let's go.
People who were 7 feet tall, half naked, painted all these different colors.
Oh, yeah. Best I ever looked. They say dress for the job that you want, you know what I mean? Hey there, I'm Gracie Jane, and I am so excited to have you here. If you're new, welcome to my little corner of the internet where things get fun, personal, and maybe even a little outside the box. I'm all about creating a safe, judgment-free space on the internet where we can joke around, have some real conversations, and just enjoy each other's company. I love connecting with people who share my vibe. Whether you're here to chat, share your wildest dreams, or just see where things go, you're in the right place. That's why I'm thrilled to introduce you to something special, Eva. Eva is your safe space to explore without judgment. Whether you're curious, looking for connection, or just need a laugh, Eva is here to help eliminate loneliness, boredom, and build deeper connections to people like me and so many others. Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes with the internet, it can get boring. Here's what makes Eva so amazing. Exclusive content that you've never seen before. 24/7 chatting plus access to custom photos and videos from your favorite creators. Yep, that means me. And with a subscription, you'll unlock full access to the fun all the time. What I think is so cool is I got to make myself a fantasy character, which I chose a fallen angel because, well, you guys know I'm sent from heaven, but then I got kicked out. 86. That's why I'm on Eva. If you're ready to take things to the next level, come join me. Let's explore, connect, and make this space Eva uniquely ours. I can't wait to see you there. Make sure you click the link in my description box and go follow Eva AI and talk to little Gracie Jane number 2. Hey you guys, and I want to welcome you to another invigorating episode of the Gracie Jane Show. I know you guys are already probably subscribed, but if you're not, you better be. So hit subscribe right now and get ready for the interview of your life. Because, where's this camera? Because you all need to know who this girl is. This woman is right here. This woman right here is my dear, dear, dear friend, Valeria Atreides.
Hello world.
Valeria is a model. She's an artist. She's a DJ. Very up-and-coming DJ right now. She is a content creator. She's a star of the underground. If you know, you know, when it comes to this one right here. And I know a little too well, so that's why I had to have her here to show you guys, because you are my favorite person on earth, and you know that. So welcome to the show.
And I am.
And I am. Wait, can we tell them okay, Sexy Red and Sukihana in the Hood Rats music video. There's this part at the beginning in the intro
Where they're in the country club, and then the white girls come up to her and compliment her outfit sarcastically slightly.
And Sexy Red, just the most iconic she ever... That's probably not true, but one of the most iconic things I ever heard. She said, and I am. And I am. So that has definitely entered our lexicon, I feel like.
Of course.
Of our language.
Anytime anyone compliments me, I'm... And I am.
And I am. So, aside from all these incredible accomplishments of yours, people should also know that you are actually family to me. So, for people who are not, in our world of transsexuality, transgenderism, whatever, you may not know this, but a lot of us, we have a mother, the woman who showed us our first hormone. The woman who first popped the birth control into our mouth from across the room. You know what I mean?
Smash the egg, if you will.
Yeah. I was once an egg, and then I and nothing's ever been the same.
Yes. It was giving femimum twink. And then she became a femimum queen.
Thank you very much. It means the world comes from you. Yeah, so like I said, we have in this community, we have like trans moms, like the people who kind of show us what life is possible for women of our experience. And I want to just like give a little background about when I met her. So I was 18 when I moved to Chicago, and I was doing hair and makeup in the Windy City. And I was finding myself, I was a young, like she said, feminine twink. I was a feminine twink.
Okay, Shamar.
I was a feminine, shout out to Shamar, dream guest on this podcast. Feminine twink.
Why was I just watching a reel about that today?
Feminine.
She says it's giving too feminine.
It's giving way too feminine.
I was saying it's giving too feminine to be gay. I was like, she's not gay.
Girl, they don't know the language yet. We need to give them the dictionary before we start talking in our own language. Okay. So, I was like a young feminine twink, and I was doing hair, and I was like desperate. Like, I've always been artistic, always been like someone who likes cool shit. Like, not to brag or anything, but I'm pretty cool. Pretty good taste. So I was always like had my finger on the pulse of, you know, music, culture, whatever is like coming, whatever, like cool art. And I was in a phase where I was like really focused on surviving as a hairstylist, because I was like 18, fresh out of hair school, big dreams. I was assisting, washing, shampooing hair in Chicago for all these like white ladies. And I started like going out with some of the gay community, because I was also finally in a city where I could be around other gay people. Because in Cleveland, like I had queer friends in Cleveland, but it was booky. Love you guys. I'm so sorry if you're watching this. You're probably not, but if you are, I love you. You're not booky, but like they told me at the time, and just like your friends probably told you back where you're from in the South, that like you got to go to the big city. A girl like you, a star like you, get out of Ohio. So I was in Chicago. I was doing my best, and I was going out to this club that I lived really nearby, and it was called Berlin. And
shout out, or rest in peace, rather, Berlin.
Yes, it's now closed, but everybody knows what Berlin is. I mean, if you don't know what Berlin is, like, I'm sorry, but it was a special club. It was a cash bar, and like it was open late, one of the latest open bars on the block, and
allowed the girls to wear whatever they want or nothing.
Yes, they wouldn't enforce any type of dress code. That was like the main reason we all went, is because a lot of us were artists. Me, I was aspiring at the time, but a lot of us were like her, were artists and trying to like do their thing, and some of that required like nudity, and Berlin was the only place that would let them do what they're gonna do. And
sometimes you just have to wear a fur coat, a thong, and 8-inch heels while it's negative 10 degrees outside.
Yeah, and we did that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We did a lot of that. I want to get into that, but before we get into that, I think something interesting about like Chicago, like club culture in Berlin, and I'm thinking about it now, I never really even thought about it this way, but it is illegal to like show your nipples in clubs. So we were like, it was kind of like cool and rebellious and punk. I didn't even really think about it that way, but they were letting us like break the law in there because it was all in the name of art. And like,
and yeah, we weren't just doing that. There was full nudity.
Oh yeah. And people enjoying it as well. But they did it. We enjoyed it. It was such a great place. Like I feel like if you were clubbing, if you're in Jane's world and you were clubbing in Chicago anytime between the years 2000 and like 11 and like 2016, I'd say, is when things changed. Yeah, it was a era. I mean, the girls that came from that era.
It was a resurgence of the club kids. Like, we had gotten the approval of actual club kids.
Oh, we had Amanda Lepore at Berlin. We had We had so many amazing
So
artists,
many.
girl. Juliana Huxtable, we came through. I remember that was a big deal for us.
Even Jack Donahue from Salem. Was
Yes,
there.
yes. Oh my God. And so many other dance
Jungle
legends.
Pussy.
There's
all of
so
them.
many. Honestly, it's kind of an underground club in the dance world. And if you know, you know. And what a special place for us to meet.
And, sweetie, it was the size of a studio apartment.
Oh my God. And it was horrible. It was literally
A shoebox.
It was so not cute. There was nowhere really good to sit. The drinks were horrible. You had to drink these like Berlin bombs that were like vodka Red Bull.
I liked them.
Of course, I loved them. But it like we didn't go because it was a nice club. We went because we knew what was going to be happening there. You know.
Because none of the other bars in Boys Town, which was the neighborhood in Chicago, none of the other ones had 20 or 30 club kids in one bar. It was always just one drag queen or like a group of drag queens of the classic era of that time where they were giving a pageant vibe or like whatever. But
Yeah, I was giving RuPaul like all that.
You knew when you were going to Berlin, you were going to see the crazies. You were going to see people
The freak show.
People who were 7 feet tall, half naked, painted all these different colors.
Yeah.
Random crap pasted all over their body. All of that.
Yes. Was that a read?
No, it was me.
It was me too.
It was me.
And I learned from the best. We have to just give a quick like shout out to I feel like for the girls, our friends from that era, let's give them all a little shout out right now. We have to. Bon Bon, Wanna Bon Bon.
Wanna Bon Bon.
Everybody check out Wanna Bon Bon and the House of Perception. Incredible artists.
Pangea
and Authentic Skid Mark. Incredible designers, like some of the most artistic people I've ever known. Some of the most supportive people of me and my journey, my life I've ever known. Giselle, Ugly Worldwide, girl. Y'all know her now. Supermodel of the world, Giselle, who every time I see her now, it's like I see her and we're like, we made it. It's very, very, very cute.
And she was very inspired. I'll leave it at that.
Girl, this is something I want to get to, but you are always the girl on everyone's mood board. But Giselle loves you, and she took that inspiration, she ran with it, and she made it into a amazing career. So
I know, but
we love her.
There's a little side eye because now all the mixed girls are like, let's all shave our eyebrows.
Well, you know what? Like, y'all can work that out on the remix. I love you. I also want to talk to you about this specific issue because I feel like when you get copied, do you feel like now as you're more mature, you can look at it as more like, yeah, of course they're copying me? Are you less bitter now or nah?
From lay people, but when pop stars do it and it's so blatant, and I know that people following me.
Yeah, but Giselle's not a pop star.
No, not her.
She's one of us.
I don't mean her. I mean other ones. She started.
You want to spill the tea? Let's spill the tea. We're gonna talk about Twigs. FK Twigs, love you. You're cool, whatever. But like, girl, I'm supposed to be wearing. Yeah, she has her own opinion. She's whatever. I don't know. But FK Twigs, I'm annoyed to be telling you guys this, but I had these amazing nails I was supposed to have for this, for some of the episodes of the season, and I'm season 2, signing for my Patreon. Hopefully, I get to do it, but. She has them. She hasn't returned them to her stylist, or her stylist hasn't returned them to the designer yet. So I haven't been able to get these nails. They're so cool. But yeah, she has kind of bit the style for a long time. But.
And I don't mind people being inspired, but it's like I have agents, modeling agents, and random people like several times a week telling me I should be a model, but then the agents will follow me down the street, and then when they show me to the rest of the team, I'm too edgy. But then pop stars can look that way, and other models that are cis can look that way and get all this recognition. And that's where my bitterness comes from. But like,
it's rightful bitterness.
If you could, I don't even need to be the model. if you could if I could be a consultant or
Yo.
a stylist instead of just on the mood board for free,
Or
then
girls,
maybe it would be fine.
send a DM. I'm so inspired by your look. Just
Yeah.
something like throw.
Or post the mood board that I'm on it.
Yeah.
And tag me or
The
something.
truth is, don't get too much like that though, because I really do feel like it's people like you who do, like, you're gonna have a crazy moment like art moment that no one could ever replicate.
Yeah, these bitter moments.
They can't do that.
Yeah.
People like that, like a lot of people in art, I think, and this is like a pretty generalized statement, and I'm not like, I didn't go to art school, sorry, but like I think a lot of people in art do incredible, amazing things that people who come to mind, Seb DeLaza, Earth Eater, I see incredible work. Someone like you, who is a Black trans woman with like a different lived experience in the industry, all this, whatever you end up doing, like your magnum opus in art is gonna look it's gonna be so insane that no one could have ever replicated it. Because those artists are brilliant. They really are. But like, I feel like everyone's best when they're doing their own thing, personally. I feel like Twigs is when Twigs did the song, what's it called?
Didn't I do it for you or something?
Yes.
Or no, it was called Cellophane, actually.
That was good.
One of the few songs I liked.
She ate that.
Stop making the same 5 songs. Oh. Oops.
Well, she is a DJ, up and coming. Speaking of which, oh my God, I wanted to finish off on our Chicago list because we left a few names out. Sorry, we can't.
You also didn't finish the story of how we met.
I'm going to tell it. Don't worry. But first, we got to give these shout outs. Okay, JPEG Poppy, Edgar, we love you. One of the most iconic makeup artists I've ever seen. One of my favorite people.
So messy, but so good.
In the best way. Messy, a mess that I would clean up with love, with a smile on my face.
Literally, had this much makeup on and was like, what? Put makeup on this?
Literally.
I'm like, girl, you look like a tiger right now.
I love her, but literally like Tony the Tiger, like exact replica. Like her makeup is insane. I'll never forget, before my transition, she said to me, it was true, and it hurt. It was like she doesn't remember this at all, I'm sure. It was like the end of a long night, and she was like, I'm better at makeup than you. She was at my house too, and I like had just given her a drink, and she said, I'm better than makeup at you. And I'm like, I was like a boy. I was like a shy. I was so like just trying to be cool at the time. I didn't know that was true. I didn't even let it bother me though, because I was just like, you're crazy.
Because that's Edgar's way of saying do better.
And it's also Edgar's way of saying I acknowledge you in front of me, which, like, for people who are as iconic as all of us, like, that's a big step. That's a big step. And I was so young. I was like at the early beginning stages of me. Also, Lexi, we have to give a shout out to Lexi, our lovely friend who has a amazing online shop, Shop Blue Dream.
And she is also someone that has gotten bitten so much.
Yeah.
She basically revamped the Gunsack 70s prairie dress trend and the earthy alt like fur camo-ish trend too. She's such a trendsetter.
Yes.
In her
very
own.
stylish, very beautiful.
Literally, I ran into her while having lunch with my mom, and my mom was like, people in LA can't dress, but your friends can, in reference to Lexi.
Aww.
That's what she means. And my mom turned me on to designer clothes, so my mom knows what she's talking about.
No, you're good. Created a monster with that. And then, of course, Rose. We love you, Rose.
Rose.
All you. If we miss anyone, I'm sorry. We're evil, but
I miss everyone.
I was like, this is gonna be annoying to my fans to hear me just shout out a bunch of random people they don't know, but I'm like, you guys need to see them. They're all so amazing. For real though, JPEG Poppy, Wanna Bonbon, y'all know Ugly Worldwide, like Jimmy, yes,
Zane
Curtis. Oh my God, yes. There's too many. That's what I'm saying. Miss Parker. The Pussycat Doll, who we have music on the way. Oh, I wanted to take a second and tell you guys. I want to announce this to you and like the fans, but you guys should know that I have a record coming out. Ooh. So pretty soon here, I'm going to be releasing a record of all of my latest and greatest dance tracks, and it's going to be titled The Gracie Jane Show to sort of encapsulate this era of my life. And you guys are going to hear a lot of incredible new music.
Sex Wahoo?
It's my best. Oh. Okay, this is not an FKA Twigs dragging FKA Twigs moment.
For me, it is. I'm just joking.
Putting the clown makeup on, I became this morning in my room, I was getting weird.
Did you got, did the spirit of the jug?
Literally, I was like, whoop, whoop. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you don't understand my makeup look, whoop, 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 whoop. I am a juggalette. It's true. I love ICP and I love the fandom and I love you guys all. I've gathered once. I want to gather again. I'm just too busy being a bougie star. I'm sorry.
One time I walked into her apartment and the entire floor was littered with Fago and I had to walk out.
I thought that was real, and I was like, when? I was going racking my brain. Well, because sometimes you tell me stuff I do, and I'm like, that happened? What? Anyway, shout out to the Juggalos. We love you. We're trying to gather, like, soon. Book me, yo. I know you guys don't really do dance music as much, but I rap. I can out-rap some of those people who perform there, so I'm, like, trying to tuck my hair behind my ear. Anyway, and also all your fan base is obsessed with me, so let's rock. If you are a Juggalo, whoop whoop in the comments and make sure you subscribe.
Whoop whoop.
You're welcome here. You're more than welcome here. I have a really like a big friend, a big friend who's a musician in the world of Juggalos. I want to bring on for season 2. Yes. So subscribe to my Patreon. You might get to see your favorite artist.
Subscribe.
So we met. I went to Berlin. It was an unassuming night. I was dressed in all white linens, and I had my hair in a blonde pompadour. No, I'm kidding. I probably looked like just some and I went to the club, and I was like, this is when I discovered Berlin, and it was like maybe like the second or third time I went. The first time I went, I met Bon Bon, and I was like, I need to come back here. And then the second time I went, I saw you, and I had seen you randomly online, like you popped up online, like thanks internet for that. But I didn't clock your tea. Not that that really matters, but I just want you to know I really didn't clock your tea. I saw you in person.
I look kind of like you right now.
Yeah, but you had, except for the fact that you had a giant inflatable bazongas.
I was breasted boobily.
You had huge inflatable latex ones and gills, prosthetic gills on her face. And when I came in the club, she was on a rotating platform, like one, like, just rotating.
And I could hear people walk by and, like, questioning whether I was a mannequin or not.
Yeah.
The biggest compliment.
I was just like, how do I get to know this girl? She seems so cool.
And then you realized I'm a mess.
No. I always knew. But it's okay.
Oh,
I love you. And that's like the beginning of the most beautiful friendship I have in my life, truly. Like, you guys don't even understand. Like, you want to talk about clubbing and partying, like, the two of us.
You want to talk about
mothers. We have got to be, at this point, I'm sorry, if there was like a Girl Scout badge or like an award, we need one that's like club legend. Because, girl.
The way we've stayed up till like noon the next day.
We have done things I don't recommend anyone to do.
Are you going to get into that story about the boat?
The boat? Yeah, I know. I always knew. 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 I always k We can talk about the boat. I don't mind. It was a boat. It was like a pontoon boat going down the lake. But anyway, wait. The parties, girl. Let's talk about clubbing. Like, I want to talk to you about some of our like best parties that we ever did, and like we've just done so much. Okay. What comes to mind for me, so obviously besides Berlin, girl, Club Rectum. So for y'all who don't know, there was a place in Chicago called Club Rectum.
And it was a ballroom that someone's family owned that they allowed to have noise and industrial shows at.
Yes. So it was a very unique in venue. And when I say unique, the bar served PBR and Grey Goose. That's it.
Me.
Literally. And I kind of get that, but even more now. I was never much of a drinker, but like it was just funny. And I'll never forget someone had a little 3-letter magical substance in a vial at that party.
And he put it in our hands.
Yes, and in other places. And we were leaving. Do you remember?
It was my birthday.
Oh,
it was my
yay.
birthday.
And
we had a crew. Half of them were your friends who had never been to this type of venue. Half of them were my friends who...
I don't even remember who came with me.
Some of them we don't mention anymore.
Right.
But we took this 3-letter substance... and
the car.
We saw the shadow people.
No, the car.
But first we saw the shadow people. This place was pitch black, filled with fog, and everyone was shadow people. You could not see anyone's face once you were in there. Then after this, still, we were tripping and falling, I'll say.
Stumbling. Into another dimension. We come outside. A friend who was not on this dimension with us, who was in our who had driven, yes,
was going to be the designated driver. We come to her car, and the car has the front is just smushed in completely.
It had been hit. Someone had hit and run it and gone.
But it had hit and run it at basically 75 miles an hour.
Yeah,
like it was like a crash that you could only have, that I had only seen from 2 cars in motion, not a stagnant car.
The car was messed up. Like, it was all over the ground. Listen, I see it with my brain the way it was, and I was like, oh, your car exploded.
And she wouldn't stop. She kept...
I was like, why did her car explode?
10 minutes into the car ride.
Why did this just explode?
This girl is sobbing about her car, like having to talk to her dad. And I'm like,
she's like,
Jane, shut the fuck.
Right. I think like 10 minutes later, I was like, do you have insurance?
I was like, Jane, shut up. This is not the time. And this girl's driving us and just like, and we're all like giggling and like out of our minds.
That is one of my favorite moments. And
then
I'm
we
just,
went
like,
and having to
and we were with that 100 Gex girl.
Yes.
And she was like, no shade to the 100 Gex girl. Love you, girl. But she had like decided to go on that journey.
Shout out
Laura, she had gone on that journey with us for the first time in that moment. The 100 Gex girl took a with us, and she love you, girl, but she was like, I'm not tripping, I don't feel it. And like all of us were there, like,
and
having a great
personality
time.
Completely had changed.
And yeah, and
tell.
she was like, I feel weird and I feel different, but it's not affecting me. I swear, it's not what it is. And me and Valeria are like, girl, you're tripping. Okay, we did Club Rectum. That was always fun. Oh my God, one time there was this party that happened that was like, it was, I'll say corn, because that's just what people say, but like corn and chicken was the theme of the party. And it was like on the screens, they had stuff going, and then they had a giant, like, people dressed as a chicken running around, and it was like an EDM party.
But they also sold chicken and waffles at the bar.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool concept, but the way they had it is they had like more EDM in the front, which was the bigger room, and then the back room was more club music. And like we were in the back room, but like that night was so crazy because
Shout out to Ariel Zatina,
oh,
the DJ.
we are gonna give
of
Ariel
the
a shout out.
The century.
This is back before she was a famous DJ. She was just coming up, and she gave us the best set of her life. But it was so funny because like we were clubbing, and there's just like people dressed as giant chickens, and like on the screen that's happening, and the crowd because of this is like really weirdly mixed and like kind of not good.
And you had to leave the party to go to the main, the club music party to go to the EDM side to get to the bathroom.
Yes.
So there would just be these weirdos walking in that were like
coming back and forth.
Yeah.
It was a wild night. That was a fun one. And all those nights, we can talk about the boat. Oh my God. All those nights at Exit, which is also now closed. Exit was this like biker bar. It's closed, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I think it is. It was a biker bar. Girl, this was amazing. It was open till 4 or 5 even.
Yeah. It was a house that had been converted into a club. So
Yes.
the bottom floor was only punk metal. The top floor, they would randomly have nights where it would be like queer. Club music, like industrial, drag.
And then they
magic.
randomly had the BDSM night.
Yes, that
every
too.
Thursday. And the thing about the BDSM night that was crazy is we would club every night because this is the stage of my life when we were clubbing every night.
4 days a week.
If we went, girl, literally. And if we went out on a Thursday to Exit, sometimes it would happen on mistake. And then we'd be like, oh my God, it's bondage night. I forgot completely. And someone's like, this is before any of that was like part of our world. And it was cool, but it was just not the scene we were in at that time. That was a fun place, though. I have so many good memories at Exit.
Yeah, me
that's
too.
where the boats. Tell them about the boats.
Okay, so it had been a long night, and for reference, in Chicago, parties or the legal venues could close at 5 a.m. rather than the 2 a.m. of LA and some other cities. So we would get to the club at like 12, 1 a.m. and still have we would get there at the climax of the party. I don't really remember how the party ended,
Usually.
but I was just like, I'm going to go home, I guess.
For the climax of the party, we mean the last 15 minutes when we could bear to be around that many human beings at one time and our makeup was finished.
Exactly. Well,
Sorry.
Who wants to go to an empty club?
I miss going to the club with you at 4 a.m. And that was just being okay.
And getting red because I was on the docket.
Now I'm like, you're late to everything. You must hate me now. Sorry. She loves me. That's right. But you were saying?
So I was gonna go home and I was like, oh, it's a long night, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe I had trade, I don't remember. But my night was uneventful. You had gotten with this group of bikers and were like, I'm gonna go on this boat. And I'm like, all right, girl, tell me, keep me updated. Let me know if anything gets a little like weird or whatever.
Nothing got weird, girl. I got a free ride home on a boat.
Well, let me know your part, because...
Well, these guys were cool, and it was the end of the night, and I was like feeling them, and I was really feeling like it that night. And I don't know. It just sounded, they were like, we'll give you a ride home on the boat. And so I just joined the boat with these two strangers and had a little fun on the boat. It was fun. I got a ride home up Lake Michigan. And I got off on the dock, like up near Boys Town where I was living, and just walked home from the...
Did you have fun with both of them or just the one?
Why do you have to do this to me?
Because I want to know.
Both. Yeah, both.
Oh, period.
Yeah. You know me. I don't leave any stone unturned. Okay? Hey hotties, it's me, Gracie Jane. As you guys know, my full-time career is on social media. With so many platforms to keep up with and all the time and energy I put towards creating my content, I need a team that can help me organize and, of course, most importantly, monetize. I truly believe a good business is built by working well with other intelligent and driven people. I think that's something that can be really hard and intimidating for trans people. I know I certainly struggle with trusting people to have my business's best interest in mind. So my sponsor today is my subscription Insights Manager, and I have been working with different teams year after year, and I'm really thrilled to have him as a sponsor of the show. Chuck G is an expert in the content and consulting space. Chuck works with some of the top trans creators in the world. His team saves me so much time and makes me really feel like my content is being managed properly. If you're looking for management or you just want to see tips and tricks and get valuable information on how to improve your personal brand, go check out I'm Chuck G on Instagram. That's at IMCHUCKG. I'm Chuck G on Instagram. That's where I found him. I started watching his stories and I was so motivated by all of the valuable information he has about business. You know, it can be really hard to navigate, and I highly recommend inquiring about his services. Hit him up on Instagram. Tell him Gracie Jane sent you. I wish all you hustlers and entrepreneurs out there a blessed future with lots of success. Hard work should definitely pay off. Thanks for listening. Now let's get back to the show. Ariel Zadina. Let's talk about Ariel Zadina. Ariel Zadina. So you guys, I probably talked about it a few episodes ago with Chase about the Horse Girl party. So Horse Girl, awesome artist. Our good friend Ariel, who literally is also her daughter, so my sister. She's been a friend for so long. Like, we have such touching memories back in those days. Like, we were all so kind to each other and compassionate to each other, and it's never changed. And she is blown up, of course, because she's such a talented dance artist. Like, girl, the amount of times we've been like in clubs hearing sets that no one will ever hear that just were like life-changingly good. Like, that's the reason, like, low-key the reason I'm an artist. Like, she is such an inspiration to me, which is crazy because she came full circle because she loves my song Therapy.
Yes.
Stream Therapy by Jane's World. And she puts it in her DJ sets. And she told me that it's the #1 requested track ID every time she plays. Literally.
Period.
Yeah. So that's so flattering. I wasn't surprised. But I was happy, and she told us she was coming to town to do this Horse Girl thing. Neither of us, we look at our phones and we're like, yes, or like, no. You know what I mean? We don't pay much attention to anything. So we get to go. She asks formally Valeria and I to go on stage and dance with her, and then she asked if we wanted to do, because Valeria had put down some vocals for her a long time ago, because Valeria has a music career too. It's a little bit more budding than mine. I would say it's about to blossom, honestly.
But I was first because
me
and Ariel used to we used to perform. I used to be bucket naked. Oh, I would read from medical journals.
I know. I've seen it. I have watched. This is something I did once, and oh my God, I just remembered something so crazy.
Say it.
Girl, I'm gonna. One time I went to one of your guys' performance. This is so worth derailing my story. I went to a performance of you and Ariel, and you guys were doing your song Dog, this was before. You were doing something else, and she was playing techno and playing some kind of visual while you were,
I think it was like a nose job happening.
Yeah, while you were reading medical text about, like, I think SRS, and it was like a room, it was like a party, and it was just my two friends doing that. Like, my friend reading, like, softly from a medical journal while the other one played, like, dissonant techno. And this whole thing's happening, and, like, there's just so many people around. I couldn't even believe the crowd you had for that ridiculous performance. Love you guys, but no. And then... Just kidding.
No,
yeah.
It was a yes.
Yes, it was a huge yes. No, but do you remember what I did that night?
No.
You're going to laugh because you will as soon as I tell you. You remember there was, like, some rich kid there? See, this is why I'm hood, and you guys need to... I'm a different person now. But I remember I was like, we should steal that dude's camera. Do you remember?
Yes.
Some dude had, like, a nice camera, and I was like, what if we just, like, grab that? You were like, I feel like these people, like... I'm so glad I didn't do that, because that's evil. What's wrong with me?
What did I say?
You were like, do it. I had to really think it through.
Okay.
Yeah, you think you were a good influence?
I don't know. It's touch and go with me.
We didn't do it. It didn't happen, okay? But that was where my head was at. You were reading the medical texts.
Bucket naked.
We were just living life, our best. I'm like, we had the most epic club life. And I'm like, what I just described sounds so
cursed.
But that kind of made it epic, though. You know what I mean?
I want it to be cursed.
I'm like, I don't want to go to a party and like sit at a bottle club table. No.
And also, I'm sorry, but sometimes in LA, like I've had experiences where I've party hopped here and heard the same Tokyo Drift remix at 2 different bars at the same night. Like, do better.
We're going to talk about LA's
and that's
nightlife.
Why, like, you can be inspired by people. I'm not acting like my inspiration comes from nowhere because I'm not sewing my clothes. I'm wearing clothes designed by other people and blah, blah, blah. But doing direct copies of people or who are already in your circle doing the shit is like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's a regurgitation.
We need to have our own identity.
It's throw up. It's cultural throw up.
Take a little.
LA though, that's LA. That's
LA.
LA's vibe. It's giving like bring your culture to LA and then put it on a big screen, and that's how people are. But I'm like, well, get some culture first though. But I do want to get into LA nightlife with you. But first, I want to talk to you about. Well, let's just get into it. LA nightlife. I want to talk to you about like how I think we could improve it because you're DJing at like, can you name some of the raves that you've been DJing? Tell me about the parties that you're DJing right now.
Yeah. So sometimes they're raves, sometimes they're
can you name them? They don't have to be ongoing.
Like
rave.
Sized, let's see, Sized.
Okay, I see these like LA raves emerging and I pop out when I can, when I'm not too busy. And I want to gripe a little bit about like how I feel we need to step it up here in the rave scene. So, okay, first,
reggaeton isn't the only genre.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not Latina.
Girl, here's how I feel. And I'm not Latina.
Are you petite though?
I am petite in this throne. But this is how I feel. And before we even get into music, you guys need to make sure your sound setups are good. Get your sound setups together, please. Microphones need to work. If you're going to throw a rave or a party and there's DJ decks, and the only way that we can get through to the crowd is through a DJ deck, while I appreciate that you are throwing a rave and it's not like a microphone thing, when there's a microphone available to us as performers, we can so much better channel our energy directly into the crowd of dancers. So I really, really think that it's like, it needs to be a standard, you guys. Like one microphone needs to be available at every party or where there's performances. Where's the stage? Like, give us a stage. We need dance. Like, the dancing it's awkward in LA. It's like, I don't want to dance at these parties because there's nowhere for me to dance. There's like a dance floor, but I'm like, where's the platform for the hot girl? Where's the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
we need to find ways. And this is me saying, like, outsider coming in. And, you know, I know all this stuff costs money. Like, I get it, whatever.
But people are monkey see, monkey do. If there isn't a hot girl on the stage dancing properly to the beat of the music, 9 times out of 10, the rest of the crowd is just going to be awkwardly swaying, mostly taking videos, mostly not really actually getting into it. The thing about Chicago that was so nice was that there were people dancing on platforms that could set the tone for how everyone else would dance. And then it would become a community groove, you know?
And because then it would have the people up below the platforms who were like, oh, who's that? Like me at that one point in my life.
And you can follow their movements.
And you can do whatever you want, yeah.
Because the DJ,
There's
like,
just so much
sometimes
more
the
going
DJs
on.
dance, but, like, the DJ's focusing on doing the technical stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't expect the DJ to set the...
And I feel like in LA, it's like the flex is like, oh, hardware set. And I think it's really cool that a lot of electronic artists here are, like, familiar with hardware and stuff. But, like, you guys, these are parties. These are raves. Like, I think that people should want to come to the party because it's fun, not because they want to be a part of the party. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about like, what's the point of a lame social scene?
And
you know what
post-pandemic, I'm sorry, but these raves, I don't care if you're renegade, we're post-pandemic. There should be more ventilation, more care into the AC units, because if I'm in a party and it's 68 degrees outside, I shouldn't be sweating inside.
You guys need safe venues, safe bouncers. Like, this is stuff
That means you're curating viruses.
The problems here are that, like, we're not thinking about safety. We're just thinking about, like, how to make it happen and money and all that. And I do think that when it's a safe, fun environment, the party goes on a lot longer. And I know that
and you can get
years.
More money to get bigger budgets and better venues.
Yes, exactly. It is always, I think that's like, that's why I'm not really an LA nightlife. I mean, I am an LA nightlife girl, but like, I would love, you should throw a rave. You should throw, if you know, when you get the time and money and energy, you should throw a rave. I could see you throwing a really cool one. I mean, I never wanted to, because I felt like I don't trust people and it's such a liability, but I feel like you could do it. You're smart, you know.
I may try.
Or do it with some other girls who are doing it.
No,
like,
I know.
Help the girls make it better.
Yeah.
Because you have that like, you know, from your many, many years of old age, you have that experience. Just kidding.
I have a group of DJ friends that I'm getting into that I am respecting a lot more than what I'm seeing usually. Because they
You mean out of the clubs? Be more specific.
Respecting them out of the clubs, but also respecting their music because they're playing their own stuff and not the same little remixes of top 40s. Like,
right, they're playing
the top
new
40s
music.
are top 40s. Play some other stuff as
Yeah.
well. But yes, I'm making some new DJ friends, and perhaps I'll bring it up to them, and maybe we can get a little something started.
Yeah, you should. I'll come through. You know
we'll
me.
have you perform too.
Oh, I know you will.
We'll
and
have
I'll give you a number. You won't forget.
And then
I'll wear my clown face.
The crowd will be inundated with a harsh noise wall the minute you step off stage.
And I will leave and go home.
That's fine.
You're like, I am the harsh noise wall.
In your life, pushing you to be better.
True. Thank God for you. I love you.
I thank God for me too.
So, tell me about, like, when I first met you, you were a signed model. You've had a modeling career. You've done a lot of big, huge shoots and major things that I know have, like, fallen through over the years. And, like, I mean, we could talk. I don't know if you want to talk about the tea of the Hari Nef and the Chanel tea, but I don't know if that's something you want to talk about. But we can if you want to.
Hari Nef and I are on chill terms, so
don't take this. Don't go hate on Hari Nef. But I remember witnessing.
And
Valeria.
This issue wasn't Hari Nef.
It wasn't a Hari issue. It was
necessarily.
She's just sorry, but she's just the most famous person involved in this entire conversation. So I said her name first.
But she does have a privilege that the rest of the
I do recall seeing
have.
a little email from her being like, "They won't know it's fine about your guys' payment." Do you remember that?
Well, we did a Chanel shoot where it was
Not
all
just
trans
any
women.
Chanel shoot, but
It was all trans women, and we got a box of Chanel that was worth at least $250,000 in this random trans woman's Bushwick apartment, and we shot the stuff, and then it came out that magazine had been had a different magazine that wasn't based on trans people, and they were going to little Eastern European towns and having underage male models do homoerotic stuff with each other. And our photographer, who is also a trans woman, was rightly not okay with that. So she decided to not have that shoot published through them in their magazine. And
effectively
also,
wasting all those dolls' time.
Yes, but the other point of contention that I'm not sure about, because I mean, yes, there may have been email. I don't really know the specifics, and it's been so long, but some of those trans women were houseless, and none of us were paid. Some of those trans women are deceased now. Rest in peace, Cecilia.
Oh, Cecilia Gentili was in that?
She was.
Wow.
That
So you
was
met
where
her?
I met her. I met her a decade ago. I
Oh,
was
how
like
nice.
20 and 21.
R.I.P.
Trans ancestors
We love
watching
you.
us
Cecilia
now.
Gentili.
And she was not only a beautiful woman, she was also an activist. And she did so much. She was such an idol. She showed that trans women can grow to a mature age and do something and help the rest of our community in a time when a lot of women got married and would just go stealth and just ignore everybody. She got married, had everything, the American dream, and she still went back down and tried to reach down and pull the rest of us up as much as she could.
And she did a lot.
She did.
I think she actually got like some official honors from the state of New York.
She also got laws changed in New York. She got certain things. Like,
Icon.
I don't
Cecilia
know.
Gentili, we love
Yeah,
you.
rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
But she was a part of it. There was also a bunch of black trans women. Some of them were houseless, and none of us were paid. And it's possible that Hari was.
Yeah.
And
I think that Hari was I remember what I was reading.
And Hari comes from high society.
Or was there a discussion about Hari getting paid? I don't know. I met her once. She was nice to me, so sorry, Hari, but like.
But Hari comes from high society, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
it was
like,
just another
none of the rest of
situation.
us do.
Just another situation where it was like, it felt like, because this was a little bit of a different time, where it was like high society, like big money, was seeing the potential of money they could make.
And that's the other thing about modeling. You see some usually white trans models getting to the top, but no one's asking where they came from. And a lot of them have come from high society. Yeah. And that is why they get these huge modeling gigs. And yeah, it's breaking the boundary, but if it's I'm being facetious now, but if it's Tom Hanks' trans daughter, like, how many boundaries are really being broken?
Yeah, and I feel that that's such an important conversation to have for you and your career specifically, because you ended up moving on to the industry, as we like to call it on this podcast. And I think like a lot of people maybe in the fashion world probably looked at you and they were like, oh, so she's not taking like that fashion modeling seriously anymore, you know, and because I know how people are, because I'm also in that industry. But
even that industry has felt like it's thrown me away, and I've taken a break from that too.
Well, that we all know, girl, we both know why. But the systemic problems that cause that, like, as upsetting as they are, I do feel like it's the art world who needs to pick up on this, and it's like, okay, she's still a supermodel beauty. Girl.
It's any industry that is based on entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, all of them have the exact same problems. I thought maybe the adult industry would be better, but it is not. They hire the same 10 people, and they get away with the fact that some of them may not be Caucasian, but like, they're white-skinned.
Yeah.
They could be Asian, they could be Latina, but like, if your skin is still super pale and those are the only people that are repeatedly getting booked, like,
right.
At first I thought perhaps it's because I'm alternative and I have a bunch of tattoos, but it's not that. The other girls who have no tattoos, who are just as light as me, and I'm not ignoring the fact that I'm light-skinned, I won't ignore that whatsoever, but like, what I'm wanting to say is that despite me being light-skinned and racially ambiguous to some people, I still have gotten told the most wild stuff, so I cannot even imagine what people darker than me, what trans women darker than me get told when they're trying to knock on these doors.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to say something, because
That's why I asked. That's why I brought it up.
Because I'm nearer, I guess, to the pale skin, where I sort of can say something. And not to keep dragging this on, but as an example, my grandmother, who was my skin color, she had all her children during segregation, and she looked similar to me. She was maybe even a little bit lighter than me, but her kids were all different colors from the same parent, same two parents. But because she was light-skinned, in the segregated doctors' offices, she could scream at the doctors when they would refuse to see her because there were too many white people in line. And that inspired me, and I'm going to say stuff, and I'm not saying it to gripe on just my experience, but also because if I'm this light and still having these issues, then I can't imagine what other people are going through who are not this light. And I'm gonna be the mom screaming in the doctor's office to get my children seen because there's a white section and a black section, and the black section is completely underserved.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad you talked about it. Like, thank you for bringing a little serious moment to this podcast, because I do think it's such an important message that just needs to be said over and over again. And I love you so much, and I'm sorry that you've had to deal with that type of discrimination. And just know that I do believe in a changing world, and I have watched you grow and blossom so much, and I believe in you so much. And no matter what you are, who you become, whatever you decide you want, you'll succeed. And I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. And I know that it's like, I can never imagine being in your skin, but I love you so much, and I'm so sorry that you've had to deal with that stuff, because that you should,
because
you deserve. Yeah, it's not fair.
It's not about people thinking that white people don't have to work as hard necessarily. In some cases that is true, but it's also, we want the opportunity to work hard.
Yeah, I love that.
And sometimes we're not getting that. And yes, that's the reason why I've stepped back from the modeling world and the adult world, because it seems like sometimes there isn't that opportunity to work hard.
Yeah, well, I do think that it's there for you. It's just the right opportunities, they're maybe more few and far between, but I believe in you so much. And
I'm going to make my own door.
Yeah, that's exactly what I recommend. And I always tell you, like, I don't know if there's anything you are up to that you want to, like, talk about, like any projects you're working on.
So because I have not felt embraced by the fashion world in the way that I've wanted to when I was younger, at least, because I had always dreamed of being a model, but I'm fine with not being. I like collecting fashion, and I always will do that. And I'm planning on launching a YouTube discussing the fashion that I own, because I'm a collector.
I've been begging her to make a closet tour for literally years, because you guys don't even know the clothes she has. It's insane.
This is a mild day.
What are you wearing today? Who is she wearing?
I'm wearing Comme des Garçons tricot.
Oh.
As well as Rick Owen on the foot.
So don't play with her, okay?
And a Ukrainian brand for my pants.
You look beautiful.
As well as Vivian for the bag.
As you can tell, we really matched vibes today, because
I'm good, she's evil.
Like mother, like daughter. You see the family resemblance? It's uncanny. We look so. I'm sorry if you're listening to this right now. We look so different. She's wearing like doily on her collar, and I'm in a full black latex catsuit and Juggalo paint.
I really wish the censorship of the internet hadn't happened, because instead of uncanny, I was gonna say something else.
Just say it. I'll believe it.
Just say
Valley. We should make a song called
Valley.
Okay. Can I ask, what's your favorite look you ever pulled?
Can I give a top 3?
Yes.
I hate choosing favorites. One of my favorites was the big breasted boobly latex suit with the fins. I also had black scleras on, I think.
We're gonna insert pictures. I'm gonna try.
Black teeth. The gills were iridescent. That was one of them. The other was the horse girl look. I had a bloody cardigan.
It was giving Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Like, I'll insert. Okay.
This hair, similar Gyaru makeup.
I'm gonna show them.
A blue little skirt, and my little tabbies from Woodchuck Sato. And the third, I think, any of my Comme des Garçons forearm pieces.
Forearm?
Yes.
Like, they have forearm?
They have forearms.
Girl, your looks are so amazing. I'm going to try to get you to send me a bunch of your favorite, like, pictures of you and your looks so that I can, like, put them in the episode because these people need to see.
Period.
It's just crazy. You're such a fashion icon. And you will have your flowers that you very much deserve. And sometimes it's the ones that come later in life that mean more and suit you better anyway. Because if you think about life,
I'm a slow burner, I guess.
So, let's talk about Japan. So, Valeria and I just went on a really crazy trip. We went to Japan for a whole week. We had the best time.
It was so good.
We've been friends for over 10 years, and we never did, like, a big trip. Like, we've taken little, like, Vegas and, like, the coast, stuff like that, yeah. But, like, we never did a different country or anything, which... This is just so long overdue. And we ate Tokyo alive. We met the inventor of Gloomy Bear, the artist.
Completely by chance. Like, we literally were walking around Harajuku and I just looked up to the second floor and saw a 7-foot Gloomy Bear and was like, let's try to get up there and see what's going on. And then I go up there and there's this, like, guy in a fedora fedora. But I was like,
don't drag him. God.
I'm dragging fedoras. I'm sorry. I
love you.
I can't even.
It's like one of your favorite artists. You're like, but his hat was ugly.
Girl, a fedora is a trigger. But like,
that is tea. A fedora is like the ultimate trigger.
But I was like, girl, that looks like Maury Chak, who's the creator of Villaverde. And then I had to Google because I was just like, because I hadn't looked at what he looked like, because I've had a Gloomy Bear since I was 13, so that's
Same.
when I was obsessed with him, like, and knew what he looks like, and that was almost 20 years ago.
And we did so much fun stuff in Japan. We went to Sanrio Land where Hello Kitty lives. We went to Hello Kitty's house.
Yeah, it was so cute.
It was so cute, and we like, oh God, girl, we ate, we drank, we had so much good food. Oh my God.
We went and saw a bunch of boy bands.
Oh yeah, we got to see. Oh, we had like. We just had so much fun.
It was so cute.
We need to do another trip soon. I have a little game I want to play with you. I want to play a little game called Throw Some D's.
Throw some D's on that bitch.
I'm going to throw out some D's. And you have to tell me your favorite of each D, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
You ready to throw some D's? Let's go. Dating app.
No, Mom.
Your favorite?
Oh, my favorite? Girl, Hinge, I guess.
Hinge? Why?
Because it's less hookup minded.
Have you heard about Field?
Yes, and I don't want to be someone's unicorn.
But I've heard that it's actually, someone was telling me on this podcast the other day that it's actually kind of tea.
Everyone on there is poly.
I don't think everyone is. Oh, really? Have you gone on it?
It's been a few
I
years.
haven't opened it. I'm not on it anymore.
It's been a few years. Maybe
God,
I'll
I'm
try
a
again.
Grinder girl. Like, I'm sorry.
I have Grinder too.
It's my favorite.
I had a little piece last night.
Oh!
To de-stress me from this podcast.
Did you tell him that? You're like, I have a podcast in the morning. I just really need this.
I never tell Trade anything.
I know, I'm joking.
In and out, get away.
He'd be like, what did you just say to me?
No, they're not important enough to know any of my personal life.
Of course not. No.
But Grinder, yes. Hinge, yes.
Okay.
To try to get a little date or two.
Okay, favorite designer.
I have to say 3.
You have to say one.
Comme des Garçons, I guess.
It's okay. These things change. Don't write her a letter.
And record.
Documentary.
Probably Paris is Burning.
Oh, that's a great one. Good answer. I love that. Dermal piercing.
Child, I guess the Monroe. I mean, no, not the Monroe. The
That's not a
cheek,
dermal, is it?
the dimples.
Oh, that's cute. Is that a piercing through the cheek or is it a dermal? It goes through though. But that
Okay,
counts. You can say
no.
that.
Whatever Lil Uzi Vert did, where he had the little raven Azrath Metro and Zinthos in the forehead, and it was like 17,
He
20
put a Birkin
carats,
in his forehead.
literally a $25,000.
I'm gonna get a Birkin surgically implanted into me.
the shape of that ass already.
Oh. Okay, I have some more D's for you. Diamond cut. What's your favorite diamond cut?
Princess.
Oh, how'd I know? Deep sea creature.
Whatever that one is that it looks completely different when you bring it out of water. It like becomes that little like blob thing, but that's not what it looks like 10,000 leagues under the sea.
Do you know what it's called?
The slug one? I don't know. The blobfish.
The blobfish?
Yeah, but it doesn't look like a blob unless it's above
Why
ground.
is it your favorite?
Because it transforms, and I'm a transformer.
Aw, how very deep. Get it. I had a weird dream the other night that I was in
20
the deep
leagues under the
sea.
sea, deep.
I had a dream the other night I was in the deep sea, and I was around all these scary creatures I didn't know, and they were like swimming close to me, and I was scared they were gonna sting me, and like some of them had familiar faces, some of them didn't. And I think it was my mind telling me like you're doing a show, you're entering uncharted territories, like you're diving.
Under pressure.
Right. Yes. Like this submarine that imploded. Girl. That was kind of iconic to me. I didn't find any tragedy in that. I simply enjoyed it. I'm like,
They deserved it.
the kid, girl, use your brain. I mean, I'm not.
A Logitech. They didn't even use a
They
name.
had a PlayStation
They didn't-
controller.
No, it wasn't name brand. It was Logitech.
Oh, girl.
For the record, it was Logitech.
Logitech.
It was giving. They went to Ross for components for a submarine.
Okay. Bad Baby. Sorry. Can we just talk about Bad Baby for a second, please? Hi, bitch.
Hi,
Jays. White horse.
all y'all look like you still fly Spirit.
I'm so worried about her.
I'm sorry, but that was her best line.
She's really good. Her
all
music
y'all look like you still fly Spirit.
and you do. She is so good. She's a good artist. I'm worried about her. So she's, if you guys don't know, I'm sure everyone does, but she's super iconic. She got famous for being ratchet in her teens, and then when she turned 18, she dropped her special site and she made like $50 million or something. And it was iconic to me because it was a money grab, knowing about the like predatory nature of men and like young women. And I just think she's such an important person and like an icon and has the potential to be like really one of like the biggest stars ever if she really like. Her backstory is so insane, but right now she's like got a baby with this dude, and like, I'm sorry, no disrespect, Bad Baby, like I don't know you like that at all, and I don't know your family and your situation, but like she's like posted about him like being really abusive towards her, and like then posted I'm taking him back, and there's like tattoos, and like, girl, it's so toxic. And this poor girl is like, I've seen, apparently she says she didn't even like doing music, and she only did it because like they told her to, but I don't believe it. Those songs are good. Like a good rapper,
I think she liked it.
She liked it.
But it's also this
I think
thing.
I think this toxic man doesn't want her famous, is finding a way to trap her down. It just makes me sad. I'm like, bad baby, if you're watching this, like, girl, you deserve so much better than someone who's up your butt constantly. Like, I hate to see a brilliant person, because she clearly was brilliant. I mean, really, she was firecracker at an early age.
Because she literally took, like, we grew up in an era where every female kid star we saw had a dedicated website counting down to their 18th birthday.
Yes.
And she took that.
She knew that.
And made the biggest bag possible.
That she could have, and she'll never have to work again. And it's like, I just think that's great, but that does point to a huge problem. And I want her to have more time. I'm so glad she was able to talk about her experience with, like, her, like, camp thing, because she got sent away. And I don't know, I just think Bad Baby is so cool and, like, so iconic.
But there's this issue in dating when you're an iconic woman, and I deal with this, you deal with this. Every iconic woman who stands out from other people and who commands attention, who has their own unique identity, their own thing going on, we are huge targets for these men who want to humble us. And this manosphere thing has like encouraged this type of man to seek out bad to humble them. Like, they seek us out for the fact that we're
so
wild
sad.
and free, and then they abuse us until we become a mold of what they want. And that's the game. That's the prize to them, is breaking us like we're some sort of stallion or wild horse. And women are not wild horses.
No.
We're our own people, and
I agree.
we deserve love, like true love that isn't trying to take us away from the light that attracted
and
the
it doesn't
man
make her
to us.
it doesn't make her dumb. Like, we've all been in those situations, girl.
No, it's so hard, because those men come because they pretend that they appreciate our light, and then they try to dim it.
Yeah.
And that's probably what's happening to her.
Lame losers.
And it's unfortunate that she has to learn this lesson on the world stage.
I'm sick of. I think it's all. I mean, we're all gonna learn. We all learn that lesson, but maybe her being on the world stage will help show girls, don't maybe invest all your time into a relationship when you're so young, because you could have a career first and then a relationship, or you could have both if you find a really good person. But yeah, I agree. It's just that leech mentality. It's like everyone wants to find the easy way out in life, and life is hard and crazy. Okay, me and you, we have our own language, and I just want to talk about that for a second, because it is so funny to me. Wait, this is exactly why I brought this. Okay, let's talk in our own language here. Okay, I'm really self-conscious right now, because my clown makeup, the white makes my teeth look yellow, and so I'm going to put this in to... What do you think?
Well, not only is it yellow now, it's blue, red, green, purple.
Okay, our language. Let's speak it. Stare.
So, I do stare.
I stare.
And this came from a video on YouTube of these two girls. You don't want to give the background? Okay.
No. Just say it.
I stare.
I stare.
And that B is me.
I took your lollipop
Off.
Oh!
I took my Molly whoop.
Oh! I took my lollipop
Off.
Oh!
And then there was get it medical center.
I don't remember that one. What?
She was on Molly and on the bus, and she had this random lady on YouTube had met Molly while being on the bus, and she said, get it, medical center.
What do you remember? Oh, and it would be nice. I can't wear this shit anymore. It would be nice if he pulled up in a Rolls.
And would.
Okay, one of my favorite rappers. Yeah, put that in a song, and I love that. That's what we say when it's like we think a situation is gonna be cute, but like we want someone to make it like a little better. So we're like, it would be nice if he pulled up in a Rolls. Okay, what else do we say?
You want to talk about mother?
White chicks, yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
We could just regurgitate all white chicks.
I know the entire script by heart.
Oh. Damn. Oh, there's a chocolate man.
Or your Ulu face.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's not a face.
It's a lifestyle.
What are you chocolate man? Oh, see me? What chicks quotes? Wait. Into the league. Into the...
It goes well with your skin tone.
You say into the league, perhaps a salad.
And for the lady, perhaps a salad.
Perhaps not.
What a beautiful chocolate man.
What is it? Me talking about you. What a beautiful chocolate man.
Anytime I'm about to go into my, I'm like disgruntled at an establishment and I'm about to go into my rich white woman code switch, I'm like, Dear Mr. Royal Hampton, I am a white woman
Born
in America.
And on that note, I'm going to end our podcast. Valeria, thank you so much for coming today. I love you so much. I can't even tell you. This is Mother. You will be seeing more of her for sure. Please tell us where to follow you. Give us your Instagram.
Everything is at adjust_rain. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, certain fan sites, certain hub sites, etc. Adjust_rain.
That's right. Make sure you guys give her a follow. And make sure you click subscribe on this video because I know you loved it so much. Make sure you hit up my Patreon, get you a t-shirt, get some stickers. Thank you so much for your time and for watching another episode of The Gracie Jane Show. I love you so much, and I'm so sorry about her. Come here.
I'm not the clown.
I'm doing Drew Barrymore at the end.
Get on your knees.
Okay.
Dog. Imagine.
We're women. We're women. We're women. I just feel like we're kindred spirits. Do you feel that way? Am I being crazy? I love it. And her crowd is just like, Drew. Sorry. I love you. And I love you, Drew. Drew, have me on your show. Mwah. Bye, guys. Make sure to stream my song Therapy and the rest of my debut album Sugar. Available on all streaming platforms. Jane's World. You know how sweet I am. That's why the album's called Sugar by Jane's World. I don't need therapy, I just need surgery.